Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Daily Creative Challenge in Adobe Illustrator. My name is Julia Masalska, and I'm your host for this and the upcoming week. We have the fun on working together on a festival branding. So, if you are joining us just now for the first time, don't worry. Every single day is a new challenge, so you can just jump in whenever you want. That's totally fine. And thanks everyone for joining. I see a lot of friendly faces here. I see Jasper, Kobe, Wade in the chat, Jotirmia. Good to see you all, guys. Omar, let me know where you guys are all tuning from. Cool. Anthony is here from the UK. Danilo is here. I think Danilo was from Ukraine as far as I can remember. Cool. Yeah, good to see you all. Thanks for joining. And today we have some really exciting work that we are going to do, and we're going to be working on a print ad. So let's jump into our work screen and let's get this going. So this is our Daily Creative Challenge page. Here you get to introduced to the Daily Creative Challenges, and every single day we have a new challenge unlocked, so it's always a secret what's going to come next. And as you can see, we already worked on label design, packaging layout, logo design, and today we're going to be working on the print ad. To access this page, you can go on to behance.net/challenge/illustrator. Now we also have a Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge, and we have an XD Daily Creative Challenge. So feel free to participate at those as well if you're interested in learning new skills. Cool. We have Mike here from Mexico. We have Wesley from Brazil. Joshua is here from Southern California. Awesome. I used to live in San Francisco for a while, so I love California. But it's very expensive, so anyway, so let's jump right into it. And so to get today's starter file, you go onto this page and then you go onto the button where it says get started, and this is where you get guided to the Dropbox, and here you can download the Illustrator file we're going to be working on today. And this is how the file looks like. I have set up a little mockup for you guys. Right now it's just a rectangle with a little shadow. Feel free to add any background to it if you like, just any color. You can just go on to the rectangle tool and just pull a little rectangle just like that, and then we're going to right click, arrange, send to back, and then you can go here and double clicking into the color, and you can adjust the color tone to whatever you like it to be. And we are going to create this print ad today, so we are going to create a whole layout, a background, and put the necessary information on it. So right now, let me quickly work on the color of the background, because we have been working on a holistic project over these couple of days, and I'm hoping for you guys that you are going to be able to create a nice Behance project that is going to be attracting some clients for you guys. So this is what it's for. This is what we worked on yesterday. We worked on a nice logo for a kombucha brand, and the day before we worked on ice cream packaging. And so for my project, I have picked a mood board that I'm always looking at to get inspirations about the shapes, about the colors, and how kind of the colors interact with the typefaces, and how the typefaces are put into the whole layout. So to get going, let's first work on our background a little bit. I'm going to use this light blue that I already have in my brand colors. To create a brand color palette, I always recommend to use a very dark color. Here it's kind of like a charcoal gray, almost black, and I'm using this white, which is almost white, not quite white. And then I have, additionally to that, I have 6 colors that I'm using, but you can pick for yourself, depending on the concept of your festival, what you want it to be. So every single day during those challenges, we're basically creating a different asset for this festival. So let's say the kombucha brand was used to give out kombucha on that festival, or the ice cream packaging to give out ice cream on that festival. So every single project that we're working on over the next couple of days will have to do with this festival, and you can decide what your festival is all about. Mine is about art and design and filmmaking, but you can decide. We had a bunch of different ideas that people had in our Discord chat. This is, by the way, where you share your work, but I'm going to get to that a little bit later. All right, now let's get started and let's jump right into it. I'm going to lock my 2 objects, so I'm going to select by just clicking and dragging a selection. I'm going to select both of these objects and click Command and 2. So now I have both of them locked. So whatever I do now on top of this, I'm not going to be affecting any of the things that are happening in the background. So that kind of gives me the freedom to, to not misplace things, and it gives me the safety feeling that, I can start working on top of that. All right, so if we look at our mood board, by the way, feel free to create your own mood board for your own festival. It can be a wine festival, it can be a flower festival. I have seen a bunch of different other ideas that you guys had, which are, by the way, amazing. I have seen some really, really great work. Thanks for submitting all your designs. All right, so now we're looking at this and we see a bunch of very, geometric shapes. We have these very contrasty colors that are coming together in this blocky kind of a layout. So what I want to do again here is I want to create color blocks, and on top of those color blocks, I'm going to put some shapes and then kind of make those shapes interact with each other. So I want to divide my poster. Think of this as a poster. I'm going to divide my poster in 3 parts. The top part, and then I'm going to make this part, let's say this pink, and then I'm going to copy this rectangle that I've just pulled out, and by clicking the option key and dragging it down. So this is how you duplicate things. And this one I'm going to make a little bit bigger. Yeah, probably like this big, and I'm going to make it, let's see, maybe like this blue. I think this is a great color. This almost looks like one of those Pantone cards. Yeah, just like this. I think this is how they, similar way to how they present their colors. All right, my friends, so now let's get into the shapes and let's grab some shapes. For now, I'm going to lock these 2 rectangles as well. So I'm selecting them and clicking Command and 2. So now I'm not going to affect those anymore. And on top of that, I'm going to create some circles and some ellipses. Let's see what I'm going to come up with. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but most of the challenges I am improvising, so I'm not really planning on what I'm going to do. So I never know how it comes out. So bear with me, and I'm hoping that you guys also have, the patience to experiment and to try something new, and to not be scared of failure, because we have the Command Z button and we can always go back because this is a computer, right? So I'm just going to create a circle. By the way, to create a circle, you just grab the ellipse tool and you hold shift while dragging it to the side. This is how you get a circle. If you don't hold shift, this is what you get. So you get an ellipse then. All right, so now I'm going to play around with the circle. I'm going to place it in an interesting way to kind of create a little interaction. And to repeat the last action that you did, you can click Command and D. So like that, you can basically save time, copying and dragging things, and the objects will always have the same distance, just like you did the action in the first object. All right, so this is, I like this already. As you can see, the circle sticks out a little bit, but that doesn't matter. We will cut everything into place when we are done with the design. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to take the rectangle tool and I want to create a random rectangle, kind of like this, and I want to share it. So I want to create a little like a dash out of this. So I'm going onto, what was it again? Object, transform, share, or share. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. All right, and here you can determine the angle. If you don't see the preview, make sure preview is clicked here so that you can see the preview of your object. And you can determine the angle here of your shearing. Okay, and what I want to do now is I want to go back to the select tool, and I'm going to hold option and copy paste my shared rectangle. And I'm going to click Command D, Command D, Command D, and that way I get all of these exciting little dashes that I can place into my design. I'm going to place them somewhat like this, and I'm going to give them a different color because I want to, I want to experiment a little bit, and I want to be fun, and I want to have this art festival not look boring, because I mean, it's a art festival branding, so the branding needs to be artsy too. Let's move a little bit to the center. Okay, so now I kind of have this little layout going on, and I have some circles, I have some of these dashes. So maybe I can try and rearrange or maybe decrease the size of the circles. I want to make it somewhat like this, and maybe pull them into connection with these rectangles here. Or actually, yeah, this works pretty well. All right, now what we can do is we can copy these by selecting all of them, holding the Option key, and copying and dragging them to the side. And I'm going to do the same thing again, copying and dragging them to the side, like this. And as you can see, I'm not very precise. You can become very precise at that and get really like into the details. But right now, I just want to create something spontaneous and something quick. So I'm not very precise right now. Usually if I'm designing for a client, of course that will be different. And I'm going to select these dashes and I'm going to bring them a little bit further to the top. Okay, so now I have something interesting going on here, and I have these shapes that I totally randomly arranged. And what I want to do now is I want to create a little division between all of these. So all the objects that I've selected are now going to cut into each other. So they're going to stamp into each other. So what I want to do is, also by the way, I want to select the background rectangles as well. So I'm going to click Command Option and 2 to unlock all the objects. And now I'm going to lock back my background of my poster, hold Shift and select the background as well. Right click, and no, never mind, and click Command and 2 to lock them again. So now what I'm selecting is everything that's on the poster. So basically that's my poster design. And what I want to do now is I want to go to my Properties panel. If you don't have the Properties panel show up, you can go into Window and go into Properties and activate this. All right, and now I want to go into my Pathfinder and click Divide. So now, as you can see, I have all of these parts separately available to me. So they've been all cut into each other. And right now, this is basically the concept that I'm using for my designs. And now what I want to do is I want to select everything of the green that's inside the circle, here as well, and here as well. And I want to make it a different color. Right now, I'm just experimenting, guys. So I can encourage you guys to experiment to see what you can do with this design that you are doing. And I'm going to select these circles at the bottom, and I'm going to make them blue as well. So now we have something interesting going on. And when you walk past it, when you would walk past this poster in the city, you would definitely take a look at it. So this is my goal. I want to catch attention with this advertisement, right? So now what I want to do is actually let me just keep it irregular because I want it to be exciting. I want it to be interesting. So now let me create a mask for this so that all the elements that I have here are inside the poster. So I'm going to select all of my elements that I have just created, and I'm going to create a rectangle on top of them, a rectangle that goes right above the poster, and I'm going to select all of them and click in the Properties panel. I am going to go click onto Make Clipping Mask, or you can just right click and click on Make Clipping Mask. So there's multiple ways to do that. All right, awesome. So now we have everything inside our poster design, and now I want to add some text because a poster without text does not really make sense, right? So we want to create a little text. So I have my logo here. You can make that one very easy, by the way, if you just pull out a rectangle. And then I have my library with my typefaces. So I want to write Power of Art, which is the name of my festival. Power of Art. The G does not belong there. Okay, so now I have my Power of Art festival name, and I'm going to apply my character style that I have saved to my libraries. And like this, I am going to create a logo, Command Shift and O to outline this. And now I'm going to place it inside the rectangle, adjust the rectangle just a little bit here on the sides. And now I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to select the Power of Art, hold Shift and select the rectangle in the back. And I'm going to click this minus front. So now I have kind of stamped out. I cut out the Power of Art typeface from a rectangle. So now whenever I put it over a color, you will see through, and it's basically like a see-through kind of stamp. So I can apply this here, for example. Let's see how I can use this. I can also, of course, change the color of this little rectangle. I can make it red. I can make it pink. I think pink will be a cool color to use, and I want to place it somewhat like this, and I want to make it real big so that it's well legible, and I want to place it like that so it's kind of interesting to look at. And yeah, it's not very well legible right now. Let me try and place it so that the most important words are legible. So power and art. Let's see if that works. Or maybe I can also just pull it into the bottom part because it's not too intense. Power of art. And now I can say, all right, so let's pick the date. When is it going to be? So I'm going to make another box here in my rectangle. I'm going to make a box, and I can share it also so that the sharing kind of repeats with the top, because I want to place this one at the bottom. I'm going to go into Object, Transform, and Share. Okay, let's see our preview here, a little bit less. Okay. All right, so now, and I want to make it the same color as these green dashes here and place it here at the bottom. So you can see it kind of creates something interesting here. It creates this little flow that you have in to the bottom. So you always want to create a certain flow in the poster from the top to the bottom or from the left to the right, and you want to guide the person's eye to where to read first, where to read next. Our poster really concentrates on grabbing the attention, and then just giving the minimal information as minimal information as possible. So only the necessary information we'll put on this poster. All right, so now I can put this a little bit to the middle. All right, to arrange it kind of nicely and create this layout. And now let me add the date of the festival. So let's say it's August 28th, 2021, because we won't have no festivals probably for the next at least 6 months, I would say. Okay, so I want to make this the same typeface, and I'm going to make it way smaller. Okay. And maybe I can even divide it into two lines. And here we also have our paragraph style, so I can pull it to the side. I think this will work pretty well. And I'm going to click Command Shift and O to outline these, and I'm going to place them right here. But since we have this black text here on top of the dark green, if you zoom out, you will see that it's not very well legible. We want it to be very well legible. So what I want to do is I'm just going to cut it out from the rectangle just to create this relationship between the objects. And again, I have this little cutout, and I'm kind of liking this already. All right. Cool. So now we have our poster, and we have our date, we have the name of our festival, the most important information. I'm just trying to see what kind of colors work. Maybe there is something that I think this one works pretty well. Let's see if we can rearrange this and play around with it a little bit better. Okay. Maybe somewhat like this. Power. Maybe we can use this kind of like a repetitive, pattern here, and we can create this kind of thing that is not very well legible, but it will create this interesting flow in the poster. Okay, cool. I think this is really cool. I'm going to make this smaller, like that. Place it at the bottom. And now we have this connection from the top to the bottom, and we also have the connection from left to right. So what I want to do is I want to mask these Power of Art thingies as well. Ooh, that was actually a cool accident. Have you guys seen what happened? So one of these just turned around, and I think this is kind of interesting. So I want to repeat this in the different ones. Oh, and maybe they can even be random. So that will be also interesting to see how that looks. Yeah, I think this is super cool. All right, my friends, this is happy accidents. They happen, and this is what we have right now going on. It kind of looks like it's almost taped, and it kind of creates this flow because, as you can see, I'm creating this connection between all of these elements. Okay. Yeah, this is actually interesting. I mean, if you would see this poster, you'd definitely look at it closer. So now I want to create another mask. I'm creating another rectangle, and I'm selecting all of these that are kind of reaching out of the poster. I'm going to select all of those, and I'm going to go back to my properties panel and make a clipping mask. All right, so now we have a really interesting poster going on. Let me see if I can experiment with that color here a little bit. This pink one. Maybe there is a way that I can make it even better. And I can encourage you guys only to experiment and to see, maybe, you know, there's always things that you can do better. I think this pink was already great. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set. So now what I want to do is to export and share our work. Cool. Let me see if you guys have any questions. Please ask if you have any question. Isn't it easier to make a pattern? Felipe is asking. A pattern, well, the thing is that my pattern is not something that I want to have very small and apply to a big surface. It's just 7 objects. So really, it does not really make a sense to make a pattern. But if you would like to make a pattern, you of course can do it. To make a pattern, what you have to do is you have to select an object, and then you go to Object, Pattern, Make, and now you can even make a pattern of your logo. Okay, and now you can see that this is the way your pattern looks. You can make different kind of grids and so on. And to save the pattern, just click Done, and then you can apply that to your design as well. So feel free to do that. We're all here to experiment and to try something new. So this would be great if you could do that. Okay, and I forgot one very important information, and that's the description of our festival. And it's going to be an art and design festival. So I'm going to use another text box, art and design festival. Okay, so now of course my text is really large, and I want to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to select my text, go into properties, and make it maybe 24. I think that would be a great size for it. Art and design festival. Okay, maybe we can put festival on another line, and maybe we can make this all left aligned. So okay, left aligned. There we go. So now let's put this here on the side. I'm always trying to maintain this layout, you know. I'm always trying to look at the box so that the distances are similar and similar to this part as well. So yeah, I think this is already looking great. And now I'm going to export the file and share it with you guys. Let me make this art and design bold though. I'm going to make this bold, and of course this typeface is way too big. So I'm going to my 24, and as you can see, I've created a little hierarchy here. I have created this, I've made this festival in little thinner typeface, and the art and design in a little thicker typeface, just because that information is more important and it's more relevant for us. And I'm going to make this dark green as well. Okay, cool guys, so let's export this one real quick, and I'm going on to File and Export. You can feel free to export for screens or export as PNG or JPEG. I'm going to go ahead and export for screens because I'm going to share this with you guys on the screen. So I'm going to export the artboard. And so what I wanted to share with you guys also is our Discord channel. And the link to that you will find right here. So it's bit.ly/AI Discord, and this is where we share all of our designs. Oh, I can see there is also already some amazing work happening. So cool. All right, so where is my design again? Okay. Hopefully I can find it, because I had problems with finding my files recently. I don't know why. Okay, let me export it in the JPEG. So this is a different variation of how you can export a file. Export as, and then you can go onto JPEG and use artboards, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. Export. RGB, this is all fine. All great presets so far. So let's jump into the Discord again. Okay, and I'm going to plus and desktop and challenge 4. There we go. Here's my poster. My challenge of today. Oh, I forgot an O. There we go. Upload. And we have my challenge already up on the Discord. Guys, I'm so excited. Feel free to post your work, and we are going to be taking a look at your guys' submissions. bit.ly/AI Discord, and yeah, feel free to check out the Daily Creative Challenge page. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's Julia Maselska on Instagram. I would love for you to get in touch and share your artwork with the hashtag AI Daily Challenge. So guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks everyone in the chat, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to your submissions. Bye bye.